You're listening to The Brown Couch Show, a podcast that inspires, challenges, and keeps it real. This is where we unpack the raw, the gritty, and everything in between. No fluff, just real talk about real life. I'm Brandon Andrew. Most people just call me B. As someone who has walked through addiction, battled demons, and came out on the other side with a story worth sharing, I'm here now to reach those who feel unseen, unheard, or unsure of their place in this world. This podcast is all about helping you become unapologetically you, to inspire you to dig deep, grow your self-worth, and realize that even in the messiest chapters of your life can lead to the most powerful stories of all time. Sit back, relax, and enjoy The Brown Couch Show. Welcome back to the Brown Couch Show, episode number 5. I am so glad to be here with you guys. This is going to be an awesome episode. Everybody that's been through addiction and recovery has had some kind of experience with the topic that we're talking about today. Now let's keep it a buck. If you're watching this, someone you know, or someone you know that knows someone has probably dealt with addiction and recovery. And along with addiction and recovery comes burning bridges to connections and relationships and everything in between. So I will say it again. If you have battled with addiction or recovery, you have torched connections in some way, shape, or form. It's just the fact of the matter. And I'm not talking slightly frayed or tattered relationships. Burned to the fucking ground. Torched it. And then proceeded to piss on the ashes. That's just what we did in addiction. We didn't know anything else. So for the first segment in this episode, I kind of want to dive into relationships during addiction, or in other words, a war zone. Here's something that they don't tell you when you start spiraling out of control. You're not just wrecking yourself. You're wrecking everyone and everything around you. The people who checked in on you, the people that wanted to help you, and the ones that kept believing you when you told them this is the last time and lied straight to their face. And whether you like to think so or not, addiction turns us into con artists. Emotional thieves, masters of manipulation. And I'll tell you what, throughout my addiction journey, I became really good at turning guilt into a weapon. And over time, even some of the strongest relationships I had came to an end. They snapped, they failed. Because when we're playing this con artist role in our lives as the main character, we lose sight of trust. And trust is the key ingredient to a healthy relationship. And I'm not just saying that to be cliche as fuck. If you don't have trust in a relationship of any kind, you do not have shit. And I mean that wholeheartedly. I really do. And I'll keep it honest with you guys. I remember the first time that I really had a difficult time kind of facing the fact that I had burned some serious bridges in my life. And that came at a time when I was in a fraternity house in college. And I started going to college for the right reasons, don't get me wrong. And I got sucked into a totally different lifestyle than I was expecting. One full of alcohol and drugs. And yeah, listen, that's the college life. I'm not bashing my college or fraternity or anybody's for that matter. It just is what it is. It's the nature of college. And some people can deal with it and some people can't. I was one of those people that I get addicted to anything and everything. It does not matter. If it makes me feel good in the slightest way, I will abuse it. I will abuse it until I have a problem, and that's how that goes. And I remember I had all these brothers that would do anything for each other. And I remember that alcohol and drugs got the best of me one night. One of my brothers, I'm not going to bring up names, had a whole bunch of Xanax pills. And me being the dumbass addict I am, thought it would be super sweet to go up into the room in the middle of the night during a party and steal all the Xanax. And truthfully, that's the last I remember of that. The way that story ends is I woke up in the back of a cop car with my hands behind my back and about 100 people staring at the cop car. And I had not the first clue on what the hell actually happened. And for literally hours, I remember not even knowing what I did until we finally got back to the police station and they told me I broke into a house and vandalized it. I had drugs on me and this, that, and the other. And the way they found me is I literally had some of the Xanax hanging out of my pocket in a Ziploc baggie And I was passed out on a couch in the fraternity house in the living room. So literally anybody that walked in could see that I had stolen those and they were just hanging out of my pocket, the ones that I had not consumed. The fact of the matter is, I burnt relationships with men that I called my brothers, friends that I thought I was going to have for a lifetime. And those are relationships that I don't know if I'll ever be able to mend. Here and there, I try to like shoot a message to some of them and just see how they're doing and kind of follow up. But I don't expect anything in return, and I don't expect the relationship to be back where it was 100%. It just sucks knowing that I had all those connections and brothers for life, and it sucks watching from the outside and seeing them all kind of still interact and go back to different functions and stuff, and I can't be a part of that because I fucked it up for myself. So I will be the first to tell you, you are not going to be the first to burn a bridge or a connection with someone. It's just the fact of the matter. And you won't be the last either. And the fucked up part about it is that was just an accidental bridge burn. Sometimes, as an addict, we find ourselves burning bridges on purpose, lighting that match and throwing it on the gas for everything to combust. We have a tendency to ghost people before they can leave. We do things like lash out so they hate us, because at least then we're in control. And we tend to sabotage love because love needs trust. We just don't have that in us anymore. And when we're in our vicious cycles of addiction, it just feels like everything is temporary. That trust is a scam and loyalty is a weakness. So we do what addicts do and we set fire to everything that looks like stability. Because if it's gone, it can't leave you. And if it hates you, then it's not your fault. It was already broken, right? Wrong. But that's the headspace us addicts live in. And that's just the simple truth. And eventually the fire stops, guys. It really does. But that's because we've changed. We've changed as a person because there's nothing left to burn. You wake up one day and you kind of just realize that no one's calling, no one's texting, no one's showing up. Birthdays pass and text messages go unread. And let's face it, your name becomes anxiety in somebody else's phone. Let that sink in for a minute. I'll wait. Your name is now someone else's trauma. That's when the guilt hits. Not that hangover guilt that, oh, I'm sorry, I messed up guilt. No, I'm talking that deep, body-shaking guilt. That dry heaving during your sobriety, thinking about the wrong you've done. So you're asking me, B, what the hell, dude? Can I rebuild these bridges? And the answer is, maybe. I'll be honest with you. Not every relationship is going to be able to be mended. Some people, they're just not coming back. And they shouldn't. Why would they? You hurt them too deep, and their healing may require your absence. As shitty as that sounds, it is the truth. And having these thoughts doesn't make you a monster. It makes you accountable for yourself. But wait. I did say maybe. Some relationships can be fixed and mended. Not fast and not easy, and not by saying, oh, I've changed. No. That is not how it works, champ. The way I was able to rebuild was with action, in silence, patience, and showing the fuck up. And even then, I did not expect forgiveness. That was the key to my success and my recovery, is I did not look for forgiveness from people. You just keep showing them day by day, week by week, month by month, and you let them make that decision. Now, maybe you're listening to this and you're like, dude, you've jumped the gun. I'm still mid-fire, dog. I'm still ghosting people. I'm still lying. And I'm still watching people back away with their eyes full of hurt and disbelief. But let me just say, you are not too far gone. Let me say that again. You are not too far gone. You are not too far gone, damn it. But you gotta stop playing the fucking arsonist. Put the matches down and walk the fuck away. Let the people who care. And it's okay to let love in, even if it feels like punishment. And if the people you want around are gone, then learn how to not burn the next bridge you come in contact with. Learn to build new relationships with the ashes from the old one. Build better, build slower, and build honestly. This show and this couch, it's not just here for laughs and vent sessions. It's here to remind you that even if you've burned it all the way down to the ground, there's still a place for you. There's still a place for you to sit down, recalculate, and start over. And I will be the first one to tell you, that the healing starts when the fire stops. All it literally takes is one moment of honesty to start rebuilding again. I really appreciate you guys sitting on the couch with me again for another episode of the Brown Couch Show. If you took anything away from this episode, or found yourself laughing, or even punching your steering wheel, do me a favor, drop a like, leave a comment, and shoot me a subscribe. It really does go a long way. And the people that are already on board, I really do appreciate you more than you know. You guys give me more motivation to do this each and every week when I don't feel like I have the energy to put out more content. With that being said, this is the end of the Brown Couch Show, and I will see y'all again next week.